Sorry, my microphone was muted there for a minute. Sorry. Well, this is 15 things that need to be put into five of which are going to be need to be, I think should be put into the next title update for College Football 26, and 10 things that need to be put into College Football 27. So let's first go with the 5 things that need to be put in for College Football 25. I'm sorry, 26. Excuse me. The next title update. Number 1, uniforms. Not every single title update has had uniforms, but majority of the title updates have had uniforms. These are the 2 helmets that need to be put in the game. I say 3. Let's go 3 helmets that need to be put in the game. I don't, know any other helmets that have been released this year other than these 3. Let me know in your comments section if your school has released helmets in real life that need to be put in the game. May they put them into this title update? May they wait until College Football 27 to put them into the game? I don't know, but somewhere between this title update and the final title update of the College Football. So from this next title update to the last title update of College Football 26, which typically we're not even to the end of the season. We're not even into the postseason yet. Not even to the playoffs and bowl season. So I think April, May, June. Usually we start to wind down on title updates and they start focusing on getting the next game ready, which in this case would be 27. So, uniforms in these 3 helmets in particular from Oklahoma State. Of course, that's the team I selected as my favorite team, and the team you see on this channel for Dynasty mode. The 3 helmets that Oklahoma State has revealed this year in real life that now can be put into the game. One is the orange helmet with pokes, the scripted pokes on the side. They have the scripted Cowboys in the game, but they don't have the scripted pokes. That's a new helmet, period. I like to see that be put in the game. And then they used to have this in a uniform when when EA Sports had NCAA football series, when it was NCAA 14 and all that. NCAA 14 had a saying, and and I like it this way better, the current way better than the way that they had. They made it better. Sometimes they say, oh, things were made worse, from NCAA 14 to now. This way was better. This patch update, title update is better than the way they were introducing uniforms into the game. You had to purchase them, and so you had the first one, and it was such and such teams and their uniform update. I can't remember which one Oklahoma State's one was. Oklahoma State has not added any new uniforms since the game came out. They had the 2 throwback helmets, the throwback full pistol Pete and the throwback brand, meaning the OSU logo on the side of the helmet. Those were the 2 helmets that were added this year. And hold on a second. And so the 3 ones that I think in particular need to be added, like I said, the orange pokes I went with scripted pokes on the side that they wore. I forget which game that they brought that out for, but that needs to be put in the game either in these last few title updates that you'll have for College Football 26, or if they want to wait until College Football 27, then they can, because Oklahoma State has never had a uniform update in the middle of a game release. since the college football game, new college football game came out. The last mid of the ones after the game had come out, and the last time that they had a uniform thing where they added stuff was back in NCAA 14 when you had to purchase it. But ever since college football, new college football game came out, and it was not NCAA football, and it was called college football. The only time Oklahoma State has added uniforms was those two throwback white helmets when from 25 to 26. So 25, it wasn't in there. It was only in 26. So that's one of them. The other one is the black pistol pin head. I think they've had it before. I think even in state football 14, when you had those uniform things, when you had to purchase them, that's when they're. So I don't know why they can't add that when they add the Pokes one as a title update, or if they're gonna wait until college football 27, that's fine. We're getting closer and closer every day to that game being out. They're starting to think about it. So that's to the third one, another orange one. And I don't see why they've waited this long. I don't know if they're gonna do. They've revealed it. I think they've revealed it before in yeah, they've had it in a game before. So I don't know. That was before the game. That was even before the first game came out. So I don't know why it wasn't why it wasn't in the first game. And I'm surprised it's not in here. Maybe they're waiting for them to wear it again to get, or they're waiting for permission or something. I don't know. But the third and final one, I think, for Oklahoma State that needs to be put in the game besides those two, the Pete head black one and the orange Pokes scripted, where it's white outlined in black, but the orange helmet. The only other one is the orange bucking Bronco helmet. What you're talking about? It's the one. It is clearly partially in the game now, so I don't see why they can't just put it as an actual uniform helmet, as an actual helmet choice. It's clearly in the game in cartoon form. Why can't it be in the game for an actual helmet choice? If you look at your screen when you select Oklahoma State as the team in the team selection thing in Play Now, or if you're playing Oklahoma State as a dynasty team, or you're playing against Oklahoma State in dynasty mode, however you view Oklahoma State in college football 26, the top of your screen when you have the pins, the logos, all that. That is one of the helmets up there. Why is that not there in the game if it's there? That I don't understand that at all. So that helmet, those three helmets for Oklahoma State. There are some other ones I think Oklahoma State has had that should be put in the game. But if you put those three in there and not get rid of any of them, that's the key thing. So add these three helmets, but keep all the other helmets in the game. So again, add these three helmets, but keep every other helmet Oklahoma State has had. I know you only have the ability to add and create 5 helmets in Team Builder, but that I don't think that applies to them themselves creating the game. You know, it's their game; they can do whatever they want. just hoping that is one of the things that they do decide to do, whether it's one of these remaining title updates left of College Football 26, or they wait until College Football 27. I'm okay with it either way. I just like to see it be added to the game between now and the time College Football 27 comes out in July, next July. Like when I purchased College Football 27 to play it next year, I would like to see that helmet be in that game when I'm playing as Oklahoma State and choosing my uniforms for that week or for the season if I decide to choose my helmets for in uniform combination for the season. There's some other uniforms I like to see that I've seen in college football, just general, that I like to see. We put in the game. I'm trying to think if there's any off the top of my head of helmets from teams that I've watched in college football this year in real life that I like to see be put into the game. A lot of the ones that have been revealed have been into the game. I don't think there's any other helmets I've seen that they revealed with the teams have revealed that have not been put in the game so far. Maybe there are, and I just can't remember off the top of my head. They're probably next title update will have uniforms. Will have Oklahoma State remains to be seen. Probably if I were to guess that, I'd probably say it would not be. I kind of doubt it might be. It might surprise me. And put it as a title update for Oklahoma State, but I'm kind of down. I think it's more likely going to be put in there in College Football 27 and not in 26. If just based off of the first two, based off the first two games, and more particularly the 25 going 26, College Football 25 going 26, where it wasn't in 25 that these two helmets, throwback helmets, were in there for Oklahoma State, but then 26 that they were. So I think that's going to be, but you never know, they can surprise you on that. The second of the five things, I know we spent a lot of time on the helmets and uniforms, but that's a big thing that I like seeing being updated in the game is uniforms. I don't know why I have a big fascination with uniforms, but that's one of them. All right, another one. The second one. I don't know if it's possible to do this or not, but whatever coaches are in the game, is there a way to? I mean, there's been a lot of coaching fires. You got Brian Kelly just got fired. You got James Franklin that got fired. You got Sam Pittman that got fired. You got Gundy that got fired. You got all these coaches that have gotten fired. I'll have to see if not this title update. Certainly gonna see it in College Football 27. Those coaches either coaching elsewhere or not in the game at all. If some of them do decide to retire. Like, we don't know if Gundy's going to coach somewhere else or he's going to retire. We don't know that. So that'd be one of the coaches that probably would be Brian Kelly, probably is going to coach somewhere else. I say James Franklin is going to coach somewhere else. I say Pittman probably will coach somewhere else. Maybe Gundy does as well, but I kind of doubt. I think with that 15 million, and maybe even Brian Kelly with his buyout being 54 million. Maybe not. So I don't think those coaches you'll see. Maybe not. I don't know. It depends upon if they decide to retire. Whether you'll see them in the game listed with another team or in the game at all. So we know that they are starting to put real coaching names. I'd to see them get face scans of these coaches. Just like to do the players, and so you have all. I like to say not just head coaches, but offense and defensive coordinators as well. I have to see, whoever Oklahoma State hires as their head coach, his offense and defense coordinators, plus him in the game. I have to see that. So coaching, the coaching stuff. So switch around the coaches where you have. I don't care if you put the current interim head coach in there for that team or not, or that you just put just some random generic coach name as the interim head coach. Whatever the case may be, I'd just like to see that, plus add in the actual offense and defense coordinators into the game, and then put the have the ability to like when you play your dynasty, when you select whether you want to use the actual coach or create your own, well, you should be able to do that not just for head coach, but for offense and defensive coordinator as well, where you can either be your own offense and defensive coordinator for that school, or go with a current guy. So maybe not the face scan thing, even though that'd be cool. I kind of don't see that happening because that's a lot of coaches, that's a lot of face scanning, that's a lot of work for a company and gaming the game people. So probably not that, but as long as you do what you did for the head coach for offense and defense coordinator, but add more coaches. So try to get their likeness closer to close enough to what. Like, I think it was spot on. I think it was pretty close for Gundy, and I think Freeman as well. I didn't look at any of the other ones that were in there, but I think those two were so that's the second thing. So the second thing is adding the coaches that weren't in the game into the game, and again close to their real life, to what they look like in real life as possible. Plus add the offense and defense coordinators for that for that team. All right, number 3, rankings. Update the top 25 rankings. I know the top 25 rankings get so. And if you have to wait until before the bowl games to put that patch title update in there, where going into bowl season, these are your rankings, so that they're good for people who want to do bowl games in play now, and they reflect to what they are. That's number 3. Number 4 is not a whole lot, but maybe just a little bit of the broadcasting commentary that you see, or you hear, excuse me. Kind of updated in the play now, so it reflects the current trend of how the college football season is going, and these they're talking about, oh, this team is looking good this year, or this team is struggling and they need this win to get a turnaround and stuff like that. So we talked about the uniforms, coaches, and the commentary. Yeah, uniform, coaches, commentary. The fourth, we had 2 more things to talk about. So we did the uniforms, coaches, commentary. Now the fourth one, it's not a real big deal. It could wait until College World 27 to be put in there. I might put it as a bonus one of the 10. I think I'm gonna do 5 things. I don't think there's 10 things that I think I could put into the list. So this might be about a 6th item. For 27, however you want to look at it, whether they put it into 26 or wait until it's casual in 27. I would there might be some roster updates. Also, the depth chart for play now needs to be addressed. A lot of injuries have happened all over the year, and so the roster thing, whether that means that you have Sam Jackson for Oklahoma State listed as quarterback, or the ability to put him as quarterback, because right now you're unable to do that. So let's see that be changed in a title update, because Haas Hayes hurt, and so is Zane Flores, and right now they're not using Banks Bowen. I don't think he's even in the game other than there's some guy. That's not Banks Bowen, but I changed it for Dynasty mode. I don't know. I think you can change it for play now, so that's not a big deal if he's in the game or not. But just reorder the depth chart to make sure it reflects whether you want to put the third string quarterback in there as the quarterback, or have the ability to, or you yourself as the company. I'm trying to say is this. Whether or not they put it in there where the consumer, is able to change it to where Sam Jackson, the 5th, can be put into the game as quarterback, or EA does it themselves. However they want to do it. I think would be the way they need to do it. And fifth, and finally, I said this last one wasn't really that big, but I think it's probably more likely going to happen than any of these other 3 things I've said, and that would be the depth chart update. I know in Madden, when a player gets hurt, that he is kind of put down farther from in the list. I know they did this with Dak Prescott, and they've done this with other quarterbacks as well as and other players as well. See that be done in college football. That's probably ties into the roster and depth chart update. So that's the 4 and 5 things. That's my list. Now the 5 plus 1 item that we will say what should be put into college football 27. All right, this is easy. These first 3 are easy to do. It's been done before. Okay. 1, mascot matchup. They had it in NSA 14. I don't see why EA can't put it into 27. They've hinted at mascot matchup, so I know that they themselves, the company, the creators of the game, are even thinking about it. Number 2 of these 5 things plus the 1 bonus one. So 5 bonus, so that's total of 10, 11, Yeah, total 11 items between 26 and 27. So the second item that I would like to see put into College World Series, and this is another one. This is just like the mascot matchup where they've done it before. Or it's been done before in a game, not so much an EA game, but it's been done before in a college level game. We have to look all the way back to college football 2K3. They had a thing called tournament mode. They had a thing called tournament mode. That I like to see if we put into the game as a playoff mode. In it, and there was 4 teams, so that was kind of like the I don't want to say hinting at, but kind of like almost like predicting that we're gonna have a 14 playoff. Now that's not 12. So with the ability to do 4 to 12 to whatever they're going to expand it to, put that in there ahead of time so that people can get used to how it's going to be. So 4, 12, and then whatever, if it's 16 or 32 or 18 or whatever the case may be, whatever, it's 14, 16, however much they're going to expand it past the 12 team playoff, which I think there's been talks about expanding the playoffs more than just 12 teams. I have to see that be put in the game. All right, the third thing, and this thing is easy as well. It has been done in Madden, so honestly, they like to piggyback off of Madden. So Madden likes to piggyback off College Football and vice versa. So whatever is if we put into the Madden game gets put into the College Football game and vice versa. Let me give you an example. The wear and tear was in College Football, then now it was put in Madden just this last Madden, where you can sub in on screen when you're on the field, not on the menu screen. You can say this. Say your running back is starting to have some wear and tear, then you can pull him. Next play, the other running back will come into the. So they've done that where they piggyback. I'm using that as an example. They've done that where they piggyback off it. So I don't see why they can't do that for these next. Well, basically the rest of them just piggyback off of what Madden has done. And the first of those, so let me review. If you're just tuning into this live stream, are you we're talking about mascot matchup. We're talking about playoff mode. The third thing of these 5 items that I like to see me put into College Football 27. All these have been pretty easy so far. None of these have been outlandish, impossible, highly unlikely things. None of them have. One of them they even hinted at, which was the mascot matchup. Okay. All these are pretty doable and have been done in a video game before, and so even if they have the content 2K and see how they did it to get in the game, that's fine on the playoff mode. EA, you've done it before with mascot matchup. You can do it. So this next one, Madden has done, so I know it's doable. Multiple scoreboards. So basically you have a scoreboard for every other game, including night games. And then you have your big team, Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler style scoreboard. So you have, that's gonna be the one you would use for the big time bowls with the big game announcers, and then the national championship as well, just with a little bit of a gold tweak to it. So I like to see scoreboards, whether you want to start with 2 and then go to 3 scoreboards, and then 4 if you want to do that, that's fine. I like to see them at least do 2 scoreboards, 2 different scoreboards, score bugs, however you call them. The things that show the score on the screen for your game. And, I like to see one for just regular games and then your big games. If you want to put a special one for the SEC on there, like you do for SEC on ESPN and the SEC Network, it's fine. And then you have a specific one for Big Ten games, and then you have one for the remaining of the conferences, like American and Conference and Big 12 and all that. I'd like to see that be done. So that's quite possible because you have multiple scoreboards in Madden currently. So it's not impossible for EA to do. It doesn't imagine why I don't see why they can't do that in college football. All right, and the next thing, and the same thing, this kind of ties into it. Announcers, you have 2 announcers, but ever since the game came out, it's been 2 announcers. It's been okay. I think you need to have more variety in your announcers. So here's the thing. Okay. Your big game announcer, Chris Allen and Kirk Herbstreit, keep us that big main game that they're going to cover. Okay. But add 2 more, actually add 1 more announcer, so you would have who than who. What commentary crew would you add an actual commentary crew? Well, you got Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit, it's a big one, and then you have your broadcast team being Jesse Palmer, Reese Davis, and David Pollock. If you're gonna add a third, I don't know. They add something from Fox, maybe. Like I said, you could add whoever from Fox or CBS in there. So just that's not that hard too. I mean, Madden has 3. They have Brock Hayward, K. Scott, Greg Olson, and Mike Tirico, and then you have Brandon and Charles Davis, which were the kind of the OG Madden for a couple of years. And they're the only ones in Madden. And then they had some actual announcers, and not always actual combinations. But if you want to have Brock Hayward, probably put the college football game too, because he does the college football. I can see that, but somebody else, some other combination where you have equal amounts. So 3 in men, 3 in college, and then you multiple scoreboards. I think that needs to be done. I think it is quite literally possible. I don't see why that they haven't done before, since they've been figuring out off of everything from Madden and college football that kind of been like, okay, this is Madden, this worked in Madden, we'll put it in college, or this worked in college, we'll put it in Madden, okay, that's not that hard. These things, the mascot matchup, not hard to be put in the game. The playoff mode, and now the scoreboard, and then the announcers. So those 4 things are not that hard. Okay. Number 5, the 5th one, also not that hard to be put in the game. It's not so much been done in a not so much been done in a football game, but has been done in baseball. Stadium creator, for the sake. If you can create a baseball stadium, which is a whole lot harder to fit the pieces together and choose your stuff, help all your stuff, all your extra stuff. But I just think that it is doable. It's not impossible to do, to create an NFL stadium. If the and if they have to go and talk to Sony San Diego Studios and see how they're doing it for their baseball stadium and have the same stuff, the style of stands and concourse stuff, scoreboard stuff. I have to see that, be put into college football. I like to see that be put into Madden even as well, because teams relocate, teams rebuild stadiums. I like to see that be put into both Madden and college football. I will do a whole list for Madden, what needs to be put in Madden, in there, but I'll explain what I think Madden should do. I'll do that in another video here sometime next week. I'll do the Madden, this, but for Madden, NFL in 27. So that I'd say the stadium thing is very doable. Whether they do it, the remains to be seen, but as of now, that's what I think should be into college 27, if not 28. I'm gonna keep on saying it. I'm gonna keep on saying it until I think it's not gonna happen, or until it happens. I might even still just keep on saying it until it happens. So, the 6th thing is more positions in Road to Glory. I'm not saying a whole lot more positions. I'm just saying these 2 positions. I mean, you have your wide receiver, your running back, your quarterback. I think you have a defensive player in there. I don't know if you tight ends in there. I think tight ends in there. I'd say this for face of the franchise as well. I'll say this in my Madden video as well for this same type of thing. Kicker needs to be put into there as Road to Glory position for you can choose, because the kicker is such a important part. Yeah, you're only coming in there for kickoff, special teams, field goals, and extra points. Okay. The other thing I'd like to see is I'd like to see you be able to watch the rest of the game. This kind of ties into that, so we're going to kind of do this. This is a kind of a mode thing, so we're going to make it 7 things. I just thought, alright, so when you're playing Road to Glory and Face the Franchise, you're only playing when your player's out there. So if your player's the defensive player, you're only out there when your player's out there on defense. And if you're the quarterback, you're only out there when your offense is out there. So let's put it this way. I would like to see kicker be put in there. If you want to put a player in there, that's fine. If you want to put another position, defensive position in there, where you have a little more defense side of the ball, but at least put kicker into it. All right. So that's and then the 7th thing that I think I'll probably say this for the same thing for Madden. It'll be the Madden video too, but if in Road to Glory, once your player's out, not out there for the tight out there, whether he's a tight end, wide receiver, whatever the position of those position choices are, that you're able to view the game from the computer perspective. The computer is simulating it, but it's not being shown. I mean, you see the play after you throw the ball, if you throw it in a touchdown or whatever. I got to see that. Actually, I'm going to do 10. I think there's 2 more. I didn't think I was going to have enough to do 10, but I think we can fit 10 things. The 7th thing, or sorry, the 8th thing, excuse me, is Road to Glory. Another Road to Glory thing. Yes, you brought high school back, but it's moments. I like to see actual full on, not full on games, but I like to see the high school being more like the college, where you're playing actual games, not just moments, and you're playing a whole season. And I'd see it be expanded more, so not just the whole season, but you start as a high school freshman for that school, you play freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, and senior year. Then you go sign your thing with your college team. You go play with your college team. You play in the college, and either you get in the transfer portal and you transfer for a better NIL deal, and you have. We'll talk about that in a minute, but then you go pro. And then you're able to import that player into Madden for Face of the Franchise and continue that in Madden as a you know, I don't know if you want to have the draft put. I think the draft should be put. I don't know if the draft should be put into Madden or in college football or both. I like to see the draft be put into both games in career mode. Road to Glory and Face of the Franchise. To see, you know, oh, here's the draft from the college perspective, and then oh, here's the draft from the NFL perspective, and you actually have commentators talk about a certain player. They don't mention the player's name, but they mention his attributes and they talk about him without saying his name. like they have been doing for even for Road to the Show. I know they've done this in past career modes in Madden as well. That and also number 9, more cutscene storyline stuff for Face of the Franchise. I wouldn't say maybe not as far. I mean, I guess you could go as far as what it was for um for long shots. But I like to see more cutscenes. You know, your player showing your player. Uh, I'd say that also uh in both games, so College Football and Madden. In Road to Glory, I'd see more cutscenes. You know, him walking around campus, him getting these NIL deals done, and him talking to the coach, him in practice, him interacting with his teammates, and I'd see that be put into more interactive thing. That's spot number 9. And number 10. Number 10. Didn't think I was going to get the 10 on the list, plus the 5. Plus the 5, there. Like I said, none of these have been hard. I just have been thinking about what they have done in the past and kind of doing it. So, they had some stuff that was college related and to face that franchise when we didn't have a college game, but now we have a college game. We can put that stuff that was in the Madden face that franchise into Road to Glory, and then keep kind of do the same stuff for face that franchise. That kind of makes face that franchise and long shot stuff. And I'll play Old Man and play face that franchise before College Football 25 came out, so you can see what. Once all I know, of course, we'll go back and do long shots so you can see what I think what we're talking about, and I'll actually dive deeper into this stuff in future videos. Also look back on Madden and College Football to say, okay, this needs to be put in there, and this needs to be tweaked and all that. Okay. Another thing I see coming there is press conferences. I was debating upon whether I said game day or press conferences. I still may say game day as a kind of a thing I might save for my next year's video for going to College Football 27. So we have to. By the way, say I know kind of lose my train of thought here, but um, so weekly and post game press conferences. And then not only that, but I like to see that be done in Madden, either with the owner or with the coach. Where I know you have the press conferences, I know you see press conferences in Madden, but it's just text on the screen. And then of course the interaction with players can go into that as well. But it's just text on the screen, is there's no audio with it. I'll have to see the actual coach, the actual player and coach actually having a conversation where you can actually hear it. I know you had that in Face of the Franchise in Madden, with the college stuff, and there was some interaction and stuff there. I'll have to see that be put, like I said, put back in there for that reason. You know, in college, and then continue with that in the pro. Let's see more of that, where you're actually hearing it. I mean, people say, "Well, what about college game day?" And they're like, "Yeah, in Save Fumble 03, where it was kind of like a little small pregame show. You had this and that." The only problem is, would it be the same without Corso? I mean, if you put McAfee into it, maybe, and he does his whole stuff that you see on game day, kind of like Corso did the headgear, but you instead do Pat McAfee. I'm thinking if Pat McAfee wants to do it, then they should ask him. So hopefully Pat McAfee, I'll see him be put in there as far as a game day thing. And if it's just kind of like how I did in Save Football 03, where it was just kind of like a pregame going into your game. All right, here's two things I would like to see have happen in college football that are in Madden. One, an actual halftime show with actual highlights. It's possible. I don't see why it's not. If you can do it in Madden, you can do it in college football. It's not that hard. Pick the same number of games that you pick in Madden, but do that for college. Pick such and such games. If it's a big game, cover that. Whatever the case may be. So at halftime, has Scott Hanson. Scott Hanson. No, that's fine. That's college. I forgot the guy for college football now. Been thinking about Scott Hanson there for Madden, since I've been doing Madden for the last couple videos on the channel. So put that. I think that's another thing. I'm keeping that thing. So I forgot to put that mention that in my list. I'm just gonna add that as one of the two bonus things. Is actual halftime show, kind of like you have mine, where you actually have the halftime stats and what's if your game is the early game, if you're the early college football game, if you're a daytime college football game, then what's to come. Um, later and then also the weekly recap. Have a weekly recap, college football recap thing where you're recapping and you're showing the highlights from the games from that week that you just are coming off of. I'll have to say that. I mean, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen in Madden. I don't see why you can't do that for college football. The actual halftime and the actual week recap. Whoever is the Kevin Connors. That's the guy's name. Even if Kevin Connors is doing the weekly recap and the actual halftime show, that's fine. Another thing that they had to see brought back, kind of in addition to that, yes, they're doing in-game updates to see that be put into Madden, where they say, oh, in Tampa, the Buccaneers, or whatever the case may be. I'm using the Buccaneers as an example because the Buccaneers are usually used because Mayfield, but there's a team too. But I know I just keep on adding to the list and all that, but uh, this is the last one I think I can think of that needs to be put into College Football 27. Basing that off of that, NC 14, it was supposed to be the coolest thing besides mascot matchup that you're able to do. Outside of playing any matchup you can, I don't see why that they're not 32 teams, so you cannot do every single matchup in college football. You should be able to, okay, oh, this game's, a good game, I want to play that. You sure can, there's some workarounds around it, but you have to select a new character and all that. I think that you need to do that, be able to do that without it. You were able to, and then say 14, I don't see why you can't do it in the college series, but anyway. That's one of the remaining ones I did not mention already so far of the list. You can go back. I'm not going to repeat what I've thought about because that's a lot to go over again. But another thing that I think that was in NC-14 that needs to be brought into College World 27, when you do the game update, yes, when you do the game update, when you're updating uh you would have okay, they would send it to Reese Davis, but Reese Davis is one of the commentators, so that you would send it to uh uh to the guy that I just mentioned his name, I forgot his name, but they would send it to him, uh and they would be like, oh, we'll be checking in with this one. Well, put the score on this. I mean, I see in-game, highlights where you're like, okay, there was a touchdown here or whatever. If you're not going to do that in the middle of Madden and college football, which they do in-game updates, so it's not like you can't do it. I mean, if you can do it for the halftime and weekly recap, I don't see why you can't put it in the middle of the game. But if you're not going to do that, then I would say at least put the score up there like you did in say football 14, where uh uh you have a certain set of scores that you will show a certain time limit update, like, oh, let's get you up to the update or this game or whatever the case may be. That is one thing I want to see me put into the game. So I know it's been another long video. It's been a long video, but I just found things that I think they need to be put in College World 27. That's a lot. I know that's a lot. I know that's a lot, but that's all I say on that. Those are the only things I think I can think of for 27. If there's any other stuff that I didn't mention or the things that you would like to see put in there, make sure you like that. Look at the comment section below of what you think should be put in the College Football 27 game and Madden 27. And you know, you can put Madden 27 ones in this. This is a gaming channel, so we can overlap, you know, our talking points there. But let me know what you think I missed, what you think should be in there. Give me your thoughts in the comment section below, the chat section below. But below, and I will try and answer those as best I can in either video or responding to it. But yeah, that's my ones that I think should be in there. There's some I probably could have put in there that I didn't, but I think we'll just say there. We'll do a Madden video next week on the same topic of what I think should be put in Madden 27, like I did for College Football today. I'll do that next week for Madden with the same with this same thing on the same logo on the screen as my banner that I created in GIMP 3. And it's not sponsored by GIMP anyway, shape or form. I don't have any sponsors on this channel whatsoever. So I created this logo on that software that I just mentioned. And until next time, this has been eToro signing off. We'll have another Madden game later today between the Dallas Cowboys and the Broncos, and see if we can't avoid the blowout like the Cowboys had in real life. And I had my game attempt yesterday. But until then, this has been the eToro sign off. Until that next video, keep on YouTube, buddy. We'll see you next time. Make sure you like, comment. Yeah, make sure you like the video. Be sure you like the video, comment, and subscribe, and tell everybody that you know would like this video and share it to as many people as possible so we can gain viewership as well. As subscribers, we're on the goal to 400. We're on our goal to 400 subscribers by the end of the year. That's a relatively realistic goal. And then we'll be on our way we will be on the countdown to 500 subscribers. We are at 360, 380. I forget what we're at. We're over 300 right now. And so we'll see you later, and we'll be back. Until next time, keep on doing it. We'll see y'all next time.